Hitting driver can be hard enough as it is, but this little tip could transform your driving. This is why you shouldn't line up with your club square behind the back of the ball at address. Right, now hitting your driver hard enough as it is. And one of the common questions that you're going to get asked is, how high do I tee up? And that's changed. And tee height's definitely changed over the years. So sort of, if you look at a modern driver here, so I've got a Ping G400 driver, in comparison to an old Great Big Bertha, which 20 years ago was a big driver, you can see that there's a huge difference in the size of the club head. So as club heads have changed in size over the years, so has the tee height. So it's probably easier to describe this in terms of castle tees, because we all know what they are. You put them down, and they're going to be a predetermined height of tee. So all the different colours. Now you're going to use the sort of red ones for fairway woods, irons, and then if you've got a sort of driver size like this, 460cc, then you're looking at either pink or orange tee heights. My preference would be orange. I want to tee it up as high as possible. I might not use a castle tee when I'm teeing it up, but I definitely want to get that feeling of teeing it up nice and high. So as the club sits behind the ball, it should look roughly like half of the ball is above the crown of the club. That's going to allow me to hit up on the ball, and that's going to allow me to reduce spin and increase launch angle. And it's when you do that that you increase distance. Now, the whole point of this video is, why don't you want to put the club tight behind the back of the ball when you're teeing up? And why, you can experiment with this and try it, but this is another option for you. The reason for that is simple. If I address the ball with the club on the ground and put the ball out of the middle of the club there, actually when I make a swing, I'm not looking to return the club to this position, because with my driver I don't want to make any contact with the ground whatsoever. And in fact, my driver is going to be probably a centimetre or two off the ground. So if I were to set up and put the ball directly behind the back of the ball there with the ball out of the centre of the club, actually at the point of impact, if I raise that up slightly, the ball is going to be out the heel of the club. So then as I swing, I've got to compensate for that. So that means pulling in the club closer to my body, restricting arm movement through the ball, and then not quite swinging it as freely as you probably should do. And then you're going to lose distance. You either lose distance because your arms are shorter at the point of impact and you're not as free flowing, or you lose distance because your arms are nice exactly as they should do, or should be, but that's going to result in a heely strike. So then you're going to get those sort of necky, horrible ones out to the right, and that's not your fault. It's just down to the fact that you've teed it up or put the club in the wrong position. Now what it can look like is this. So from a player's sort of camera point of view here, you can see I set the club 2 or 3 inches behind the ball, and predominantly if I rest the club on the ground, that's going to look like it's out of the toe of the club. So that you can see that if I rest the club sort of 2 or 3 inches behind the ball, but predominantly set the ball so it's out of the toe of the club and then bring it out, what I'm looking for is to make a swing so that as the club returns, it's slightly on the up, and then it's more likely to find the middle of the club face. That's going to mean that my arms are going to be fully extended at the point of impact. I'm going to be far more efficient in terms of strike. Now, you're not necessarily going to need to try to do any of this, but you'll be a little bit faster, a little bit better, and a little bit more consistent, and that's a good thing. You're also promoting a nice in to out swing path, so then you're going to get those nice draws going. We've spoken before about the sort of Jon Rahm position where he sets up with a club a few inches behind the ball to promote a draw, and that's going to work. So you need to try it. So when you set yourself up, it should look something like this. So set up 2 or 3 inches behind the ball, getting the club rested on the ground so it looks like it's out the toe, and then make a swing from there. So you can see from that swing there, no problems finding the middle of the club, even though I've set it up out the toe, promoting a draw. So then you're going to get those nice high draw shots. That's going to get the ball going further. And certainly going into the winter, that's going to make sure that you add some yardage to your game. We all need that, so that's a good thing. So over the last couple of weeks I've hit 1,000 subscribers, and to mark that I'm doing a giveaway, so make sure you check that video out there for your chance to enter and win.